problem-based learning? Problem-based learning is an approach where students work in groups to solve a problem on their own with only guidance of a teacher. For many years, teachers provided learners with learning information and did not allow them to think creatively, critically, and did not give them the opportunity to solve a problem on their own. It was time for a new approach. The world needed adults who can identify problems, think creatively, and can solve the everyday problems. Problem-based learning did not appear out of the blue, but was influenced by three sources: Dewey, Harvard University, and Jerome Bruner. In 1960, Howard Barrows and Tamblyn increased clinical reasoning. This strategy had grown and was successfully. Today we are using this method successfully in our South African schools, and it stimulates the learners to think, to discuss, and work in groups to be creative problem solvers.
Problem-based learning and the different kinds of implementation. When we look at problem-based learning, we have three different kinds of problem-based learning and methods of implementation. The first one being experiments. In this approach, we set up a problem, an experiment, for the kids to discover and investigate the answer themselves rather than us as teachers having to tell them. This approach is suitable for all subjects as long as your questions are suitable to that subject. The second type of implementation of problem-based learning is a case study. When you present a case study to your class, make sure you ask the following questions. What do we know? What do we need to know? What can we do? You as a teacher with a child in your class, always remember these questions, and this will help you discover the problem in the case that you are investigating. The same goes for your classroom when you present them with a problem or a problem in a case study. As a teacher, you should be asking these questions about your learners in your classroom and with every subject you teach, and on how the learners respond to the specific subject. Third and final problem-based learning and kind of implementation is role-playing. By playing different roles and possibly being forced into stimulations like a stimulated strike, learners will then discover why people react differently in certain situations.
We would like to take this opportunity to introduce links and additional resources to our fellow colleagues. Project-based learning, why, how, and examples. This link provides teachers with an understanding on why they should use problem-based learning in the classroom, who problem-based learning is meant for, and how to implement problem-based learning in the classroom. Problem-based learning, student-centered approach. In this link, teachers will find opportunities to help learners develop skills and find solutions to problems. Why use problem-based learning? Considerations for using problem-based learning and getting started with problem-based learning. 6 steps of problem solving. This link provides teachers with steps on what to do and expect once they have planned problem-based learning and launched a problem-based learning project. It also provides teachers with 6 steps of problem solving. Problem-based learning can be considered as crucial and beneficial to both learners and teachers. Problem-based learning is an instructional strategy to let learners work in groups and solve authentic problems, and to help them develop content knowledge as well as problem solving, reasoning, communication, and self-assessment skills. Putting problem-based learning in a nutshell, the benefits to learners are beneficial for a bright and successful future. So fellow colleagues, don't be grinning. Use problem-based learning.
Learning tasks and activities to develop teachers' understanding of problem-based learning. It is important that teachers understand the concept of problem-based learning and how to implement it. As an example of a task or an activity that teachers can do to promote their knowledge and understanding of problem-based learning is they can use a case study. The teachers can divide themselves in groups of 3 teachers per group, and they can write down in a case study, for example, the problems that they are experiencing in their classroom. For example, mispronunciation of words. Learners struggle to read out loud. Any problems that they are experiencing. As well with a case study, a set of questions so that all 3 these teachers can have their input and give their knowledge and help to find solutions. I just think working in groups can make it easier for each teacher and finding solutions a bit easier because they work together as a group.